Here we go. And we're going live. Bye, Seamus.
He's gone. He's not even here. He's gone out. Our famous Seamus is not here.
Why do I not have the option to go live? End broadcast.
Well, I've just gone live anyway. Okay, so guys.
Oh my God, you're live. You did it.
Welcome, guys. it's like round 2. Take again, but we can't because we're live on TV. So Terry, you're going to be remembered for your Oscar performance. You know, one of those awkward moments on videos.
Oh God, I'm gonna be on bloopers.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm gonna be on bloopers.
Okay,
all
so
right,
guys,
new students,
welcome.
Just a quick introduction. What's that?
I'm Paul. Just introducing myself. So I'm Paul, and I'm from Ireland. And lovely to meet you guys. And Terry, take it away.
Welcome, everybody. So my name is Terry. I'm from the United States. As you arrive, please write your name and where you're from in the comments. We would love to know who we are talking with today. And any questions, any comments as we go along. We want this to be as virtually interactive as possible. So tell us a little bit about you. And today we're going to talk about goals. So, Paul, what is a goal?
A goal is basically an objective. Okay? A goal is what we call an objective.
An objective. Do you have any goals?
To survive every day.
Welcome back, Maria from Naples, Ilaria from Padua, Vittoria from Pescara. Welcome and nice to meet you.
Familiar faces.
So just to survive, that's a low-level goal.
Okay, I suppose to be positive, Terry, and despite how difficult it is at the moment, to just be as positive as possible.
All right. So tell us, all of you out there, do you have any goals? Go ahead and share those with us right now. So a year and a half ago, I did the Italian State CILS exam, and I passed level B2. My goal is for the end of this year to pass level C1. That's going to take a lot of work, a lot of effort. That's my next goal. So welcome, Marco from Caserta. Welcome. All right. So let's still getting used to all of the technology here. Okay. So will you read for us, Paul?
Yeah. So in this focus activity, we are setting goals using the future perfect and the future perfect continuous. So Terry, imagine I am your student. Okay. And can you just tell me, please, the future perfect, if that's okay?
Future perfect. So the future perfect describes an action up until a specific future point. Let me think. Oh my God. On the spot, no creativity, no imagination, all gone.
Happens to me as well. Or do you want me to help you with an example or?
Future. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So generally speaking, the future perfect is used to talk about an action that is finished, but in the future at a certain point. So for example, if I can just say, so the form is subject plus will plus have plus past participle. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to remember. So for example,
wait, I have one.
Tell me, Terry.
I have one. On April 5th, I will have returned to work.
Excellent. I will have returned to work.
Yes.
I will have given you probably a hug if it's possible, if we're allowed to, be it more our natural Italian way, So on April 5th, I will have returned. Yeah, so that is basically the structure, guys. As you can see, Terry, if you can read, please, on April 5th.
Absolutely. On April 5th, I will have returned to work. So Ilaria shared a goal with us. She said,
Okay.
actually, my goal is to finish all my exams online. Maria,
Hmm.
Ilaria, I have two questions for you. The first, when you say actually, do you mean adesso or do you mean in realtà? Because
Hmm.
actually is a false friend in Italian. In
Hmm.
English, actually means in Italian in realtà.
Oh, thank you.
So, um, can you also tell us the date that you plan to finish your exams and use the future perfect with that date?
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So while we're talking to our audience, Terry, I'm just going to write in the future perfect form, and you can just continue entertaining. So, for example, Maria has said it is my goal. So,
My goal is to get out of my house. And
hmm,
yes, I want to get out of my house too.
me
Yes,
too.
I understand. I really do. All right. So, future perfect continuous. Um, on April 5th, excuse me, because we are still in our houses until April 3rd. On
Hmm.
April 3rd, I will have been working from home for 3 weeks. I will have been working from home for 3 weeks. What tense is that, Paul?
I will be working. I will be working.
I
The future continuous. I will have finished, and then the future continuous is I will be working. Uh,
I will have worked, excuse me.
yeah, no
No,
worries. It's okay. So
continuous.
yeah,
Continuous requires the gerund.
yeah. So it's subject plus will plus v plus be plus ing. So I'm just writing in the future perfect. So subject plus will plus have plus past participle. Okay, so then that is when we use the future perfect. Yeah, subject plus will plus have plus past participle, as we said earlier. On April 5th, I will have returned to work. So it's an action that's finished. And then, of course, the future continuous, which is example, I'll be drinking a bottle of Chianti. I'm being very specific here. Chianti red wine at the end of April.
Okay.
That's my goal.
And Michele says, on April 3rd, I will be waiting for midnight to hang out.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
bottle of Chianti wine. Okay.
All right.
Wine.
So let's look at a little bit of goal setting, shall we?
We will, yeah.
I'll be drinking a bottle of Chianti wine by the time it is April. Oh, I will have drunk at least 5 bottles of Chianti before April arrives.
It feels like, it feels like that day is going to change, I think, everybody and how we see things, how we appreciate our freedom of just being
Yes.
able to just go for a walk. I don't know, I guess
Party
it's
in Piazza della Repubblica.
for sure. I think so. Well, I don't know because obviously they're gonna have to keep calm with like the whole situation, but it feels like we're waiting for like something spectacular to happen. That's
We
what's
are.
keeping me. That's my goal actually. It's just kind of thinking of when eventually something is going to end and that there's just going to be a positive outcome. Because I've found that like in work and stuff, I love doing these webinars because we're all in the same boat,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just something to do.
And it's a way that we can, even if you're stuck at home with no one there who speaks English, it's a way that you can continue learning and progressing in your goals. So let's,
Exactly.
let's talk a little about goal setting and how you can be successful. So, Paul,
Hmm.
what do you hope to have accomplished by this time next year?
I have similar goals to you. I hope to have got the C1 in Spanish. I think that's my long term goal. Um, if I'm being honest, I would love the opportunity to work in my English school in Valencia maybe one day, because I know that they have a school there. And I think, that could be a goal of mine. I'm just being honest. It is one of my goals, actually. And what about you? So,
Um, by this time next year, I hope to have completed the CHILS exam for C1.
hmm
And I hope to have a much better understanding of how the language works so that I can use it in produced speech, not just
hmm
this word soup that happens in my head.
absolutely. And please, Terry, could you tell Ilaria the meaning of accomplish?
Oh, to accomplish means to complete. If I want,
hmm
what do I hope to have accomplished? What
hmm
goals do I hope to have completed? It means to finish doing something that is
Exactly.
perhaps difficult.
Exactly. Very good. And let's see. We have another
No, no, be careful, Daniela.
false friend.
Realize is another false friend.
Yeah.
Um, we can use realize in a sense of accomplishment. I realized my goals, but this is a really antiquated, very old way of speaking.
Mm,
To realize means um, to have an understanding of something. I realize that
absolutely.
English is difficult to learn.
Absolutely. I
So
agree with you.
be careful with that one, Daniela.
hmm
All right. So
Realize is just kind of be like, when you kind of think of something. I realize, you know, when you snap your finger, when you think of like a certain reaction in your brain.
I
Uh,
was on the bus the other day when I realized I had left my lunch at home.
mhm.
I didn't want to. I didn't accomplish it. Trust me. I
And
understand.
also the verb is typically used with the past perfect. I realized that I had left, so it's a verb that makes you think back.
So, Ilaria just asked, realize with a Z or realize with an S? And that's a
Both.
really interesting point because realize with the Z is American and
Hmm.
realize with S is British.
Exactly.
There are some really interesting spelling differences between British English and American English. Um, compartmentalize, realize, all of these words that end in eyes. In English, in American English, almost all of them end with IZS.
Hmm.
But in British English, ISE. Excuse me, IZE or ISE.
Hmm.
All right. So, okay, Daniela. So better reach. Exactly. You reach a goal. To accomplish a goal
Hmm.
is to reach a goal. Excellent. That is perfect, Daniela.
Good job, guys. You're thinking of the correct synonyms of the verbs. Excellent job.
Fabulous. All right. So, Paul, what
Hmm.
habits do you hope to have changed or created by next year?
Interesting question. Probably well, 2 days ago, I did my own, because the gyms are closed at the moment. I did my own workout routine, and it actually worked out pretty well. It was a useful. I just followed like a certain program by friends who I know who use the gym a lot, and maybe just not pay for gyms anymore. Just do my own exercises that make sense because I know my own body and like what I need to do and what I shouldn't do instead of paying like, because if you pay for the gym in Italy, it's really really expensive. So I've realized that actually I don't need a gym. I can just do it myself, just using common sense. And what about you?
Oh, what habits do I hope to have changed or created? I hope by next year, this last year was difficult, and this year is starting off a little bit rocky too. So by next year, I hope to have created a much more peaceful existence.
Okay.
So I hope to create a more peaceful existence. This is another way I can say it, but that is saying in this action at this time as I go forward. If I say I hope to have created, it means by that time, what do I hope to have done between now and then? Not what do I hope to do along the way. I hope that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, Terry. Makes
Okay.
perfect sense.
If not, send us a message and we will discuss it some more. All right.
And
So,
Terry, we just have a question.
oh,
By
I just
by.
I just answered.
Ah, you did, yeah, indeed. Oh, okay.
I
Apologies.
did.
My technolo. We're improving though. By the end of today, I will have improved my technology skills. That's my hope. That's my goal.
Okay. By the end
No,
of today, I just want to have stayed awake and engaged and entertained the people that we are working with. So
for
that's my
sure.
only goal for today.
I'm sure you're entertaining. Okay,
So,
here's another.
Federico, by next year, I would like to have trained more regularly than how I'm doing now. All right.
It's a
That is
really
an
good example.
excellent goal. Excellent goal. All right. So let's go forward, shall we?
We will.
All right. So, Paul, will you read for us?
Yeah. So, guys, questions for me and Terry, and also for you. And hello, Julia. You're from Genoa. Welcome to the lesson. Okay. So a 5-year plan. So, what goals have you reached over the last year? Over the next 5 years? Over the past 5 years? Excuse me. What would you like to accomplish within the next year, 2 years, 5 years? To remind you guys that accomplish is basically to achieve, as Terry said earlier. What steps do you need to take to start working toward uh, your goal? And what will you have done to reach your goal by the end of next week, next month? So, guys, remember the future perfect is used for actions that you will have finished in the future. The future continuous is an action that is unfinished in the future. That's basically it. Okay, so I will be drinking a bottle of wine next week. I will have drunk. The difference is I will have drunk, it's gone. I will be drinking. Me and Terry are in the moment of drinking. Okay.
On midnight, April 3rd, I will have drank at least one bottle of wine.
Or drunk. Drunk.
I will, wait, future perfect continuous requires the ing, right?
Yeah. Future perfect continuous. I'll be having lunch with my family in next year. I'll have had lunch with my family next year. It can be quite confusing.
Um,
Like at the end of the day, yes, you're going to say, however, excuse me, Terry.
no,
I
no,
didn't
no,
mean
go,
to.
go.
Many future terms can be used. You could say, I'm going to have lunch as a future intention. I'm having lunch. which is like time and place, so it's already organized. Um, I think I will have lunch. That can be used as a prediction. I think I'm going to have lunch. It's a prediction with a bit more certainty or evidence. Um, there are many
So
possibilities, you know.
future perfect continuous
Mm-hmm.
is the subject
Plus
plus,
will.
no, plus, okay, will plus have plus been plus the present participle,
Oh my God.
which is the ing form.
So I will have been doing something.
I will have been. So,
Ah, okay. I've been giving the future continuous. Excuse me, guys. I've been giving
exactly.
future continuous. Apologies.
So the
Not to
future
confuse
perfect
people.
continuous describes an action that continues at a certain point in the future. So, and these are, you can see how difficult it is to remember the name of the tense and the structure of the tense because they don't, yeah, it's not easy.
I don't didn't know, but the thing is, like, people shouldn't be too worried about using these tenses because, as I've just said, like, I'm going to have lunch next week. We're going to go out next week. We are meeting tomorrow. Like, they're the more natural future forms. Like,
Exactly.
I personally would never use the future. What did you say that tense was? The future
Future
continuous.
perfect continuous.
Nah, the guys don't worry too much about that. Um, I mean, I made a mistake, being honest, about that tense.
But it sounded strange to my ear, which is why I sat
Yeah,
here for a minute in silence. So that future perfect continuous is
will
the
have been having. No.
subject plus will plus have been plus the verb in the present participle, which is the ing form. It describes an action that continues at a specific point in the future. In a few months, I will be. Now, in a few months, I will have been drinking beer by the sea
Eh, As
for
a
this.
as a future continuous, it's possible to say that. Uh, it does make sense if you're continuous. Like, I'll be drinking. Like, I'll be drinking a beer by the sea. That's
Future
correct.
continuous.
As a future continuous, but as not as a future perfect continuous, as we're learning.
Okay, so these
Yeah,
perfect.
but does that not make more sense to you, Terry? If we're just going to analyze the language, I would not say in a few months, in a few months. Don't forget your article. I wouldn't be saying I will have been drinking. It's just really weird, like, for
It,
me.
it depends because when we're talking about future perfect and future perfect continuous, the real
Mm.
difference, the thing that we have to impress on everyone, is that the future perfect describes an action that was completed at a future specific point. Whereas the future perfect continuous describes an action that will be continuing at that future specific point.
Very, very clear. Okay.
I hope.
We have another we have another question. Last year I graduated, okay? Because don't use the verb have. That's a typical Italian mistake, but don't worry about it. We all make mistakes. So last year I graduated. So within the next year, I'd like to achieve my master's degree, or is it better to say I would like? No, because when you use the verb would like, I'd like to plus the infinitive, you're talking about a future desire or motive. For example, I'd like to study English grammar more, especially the future perfect continuous. Um, well, that's my response to the question, Ilaria. Um, what do you think, Terry?
I would say I would have to agree. So within the next year, I'd like to have achieved my
Yeah,
master's degree. I
very
would
good.
like to have achieved.
Yeah,
This
I'd like
is this is a really great use for that future perfect.
Cool.
All
Shall
right.
we shall we move on?
Absolutely. So let's go to the next slide.
Hello, Alice, by the way, from Turin. We've got another viewer, Terry. Alice. Alice. I don't know. My pronunciation is terrible. Excuse me.
Welcome, Alice from Turin. All
Alice.
right. Thank you
Alice.
for joining us.
Alison. Alice. Okay.
Okay, so the best laid plans. Paul,
Mm-hmm.
I am former US military. I was in the Army.
Wow.
My father was Air Force. My grandfather was US Air Force. So I come from a very long history of people who always have to have a game plan. Not just a game plan, but an exit strategy and a plan B. I live this way. It's a
I
sickness.
still,
It's,
I associate that actually more with America in general, like a game plan. It just sounds so American to me.
it does, but usually they talk a lot about it, but they never do it. So, do you prefer to always have a game plan, or do you fly by the seat of your pants?
Can you explain to me that phrase? Because I'm a bit unfamiliar with it. Please. Fly,
Fly,
but is that like just kind of like go with the flow, or am I wrong?
ah,
Or
go with the flow, wing it,
yeah,
do
that's a
things,
really
do things
that's a
on the
really good.
spur of the moment. Not
Both. I have a long-term plan, which, as I said to you guys, eventually maybe I'd like to work, uh, maybe with my English school, but maybe in Spain. That would be my long-term plan. But then again, like I feel I was just having a conversation with my boss earlier, and I felt like more connected now more than ever to Italy and to the staff and to the school, like for what's been happening. Um, so that's my long-term plan, but then I'm flying by the seat of my pants by just feeling, more connected here as well, so that's, I guess, my best answer. What about you, Terry?
do me. I have a game plan. I not only have a game plan, I have a plan in case my game plan doesn't work. I
Mm-hmm.
also have a plan for leaving the area quickly in case my plan B and my game plan don't work out. I'm organized to the point of illness.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's an illness.
We also
All right.
have, just before we, sorry for intruding on you, we have, yes, Julia, I'll be working. Okay, so you're doing really well, Terry, on answering questions for all. You get
I'm
there before me. You get there before me, for
I'm
sure.
I'm
Right.
I'm trying. I'm trying to keep up on both. So,
You're like a Hulk, as we say. You're like
well,
a Hulk.
this is a military thing. I when I was in Iraq, when I was in Baghdad, it was
Wow.
my job to watch 37 different camera angles, and and anything that happened, I had to immediately send status reports and call different towers to coordinate eyes on situations. And then I had to, on a different phone, contact the base command center. So it's kind of like being back in Iraq, except I'm in my own home and I can like not wear a uniform. So anyway, the enemy is out there and they're not getting me. So anyway, yeah, okay. All
Fair
right, so
enough. Fair enough.
here we have some phrasal verbs with the word plan. To
Mm-hmm.
plan out, to plan for, to plan on, to plan ahead. Everything I love in life encapsulated in a slide. So can
No,
you,
don't ask me. I think you should tell the people the answers to these questions because I'm like a bit, yeah, plan for, plan on, plan ahead. Terry, you can take this one, please. You can
uh,
tell it.
Julia asked if her first sentence was correct, and I must have missed
Yeah,
the
there was
first.
one.
Um, no, I see. I'm Julia from Genoa. Hi.
Okay.
Uh, by next year, I will have finished. By next year, I will have finished my book. Yes, Julia, that is absolutely correct. Thank you. And I'm
Good.
sorry I missed it.
Yep, I'll have finished my book. That's correct because you do it at a specific point in the future.
All right. So to plan out, I used to have to plan out the route for our drivers to take to go from one base to another. So to plan out means to formulate a detailed scheme.
Mm-hmm.
To plan for, I used to write all of the reports to plan for the arrival of my base commander at 4 p.m. So
Prepare.
that would be
Prepare, I'd say.
to prepare for something. All
Sure.
right. To plan on. Well, I plan on leaving my house on April 4th. So that would be to be ready for something.
But surely you're going to plan on, leaving your house to go to the supermarket, right,
I
Terry?
have enough food for a month.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna
I,
not even step outside for like 5 minutes to catch a bit of fresh air.
I'm a little bit low on wine. I only have 4 bottles, so I might have to leave next week.
Okay, but I mean, I think you should just to kind of like, as in, go specifically to the supermarket. I think that's the most exciting time of my day now. Is like, yay, I'm going to the supermarket to go for a walk. Woohoo!
No, I open all the windows to the house and change the air and look outside, but no, not going down, not going out.
Julia has asked us a question: Are we two teachers? Yes, we are teachers.
Do you think we're not? Do we not seem like we're, and she asked us 3 times. Oh my gosh. Do you
uh,
think we're all right? We're
I hope
just
that.
we're just we're trying to have a little bit of fun here with you guys, Julia. So yes, okay. Let's get back to our
I hope. I
slides.
hope. I hope. I hope she means that in a good way, But
I hope so too. I'm feeling a little bit self-conscious right now. All right, so to plan ahead means to make arrangements in advance. So what we'd like from all of you right now is to send us a sentence, make a sentence, and use one of these phrasal verbs with plan. So to plan out, to plan for, to plan on, or to plan ahead, use one of these phrasal verbs in your own sentence. That way we can make sure that you've got a really good understanding and can use these easily, all right? So we're looking forward to reading your sentences.
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, that phrasal verbs are followed by nouns, nouns or gerunds. Okay, so for example, um, I am I am planning on watching Netflix tonight. Netflix will be my Bible. So I'm planning on watching. Okay, so any verb that is followed, I'm planning on, yes. So I'm planning on watching
Now,
Netflix tonight.
you can use Paul's example with that present continuous, I am planning on, or you can also use it in the simple tense, I plan on watching Netflix tonight.
That is correct, Terry. Thank you very much. Okay. As you can see, guys, what we're doing today is we're playing with language, there are many possibilities, it's like future. I hate teaching the future because it's like there are many possibilities, whereas if you're teaching present simple, or sorry, present perfect, past simple, it's a lot more specific. Because
Yes.
I can't say to someone, example, people will say, tomorrow I will go out. It sounds better to say I'm going out or I'm going to go out as a present continuous, but it's I will go out. When we speak it, we cannot tell people that it's not correct. It is correct, but we say it orally speaking.
But it
Perhaps,
really,
Terry, you can disagree with me. I would be happy to.
I don't disagree, but I think it truly intends on your meaning, because if you say, I will go out tomorrow, that
Yeah.
will, you are either supposed to, that will is used for a decision at the moment of speaking. So
True,
I'm
true, true. Forgot about
I'm
that one.
I'm inside. I shouldn't go out, but you know what? I will go out tomorrow. That's a decision.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a spontaneous decision in the moment. Thank you very much, Terry, for
Or
clarifying.
if you use the present continuous, then you're talking about a plan that you have for tomorrow.
Yeah,
But if you use the future going to, you are talking about an intention that you have, not a fixed plan. So it
okay,
really, how you say it, at least as native speakers, how you say it changes the meaning for us.
for sure. Just Daniela gave a very good example, but you're planning. I'm planning. I would say I'm planning on something. I'm planning on finding something to do every day with my little daughter. What do you think, Terry? I would say I'm planning on.
I would have to say I'm planning on as
Yeah.
well. Um, because if you say I'm planning for finding,
Mm.
um, I hmm,
That's a good one. Okay, like you're planning on is you're making arrangements every day. So you're planning on. Like an arrangement is an activity that you want to do with your little daughter.
that's
Um,
to plan ahead, Paul. Sorry.
mm,
To plan on is to be ready for something. So you're
mm,
talking about finding something to do every day. And so, yeah, you would say, I plan on finding something to do every day because it means that every day you want to be ready with a new experience for your little daughter. If you say, I plan for finding something to do every day, that means that you are planning everything, you are preparing everything
yeah,
now. And so you plan on, you want to be ready for it, but you are not today preparing everything for all of those days.
I think that's really clear, Terry. I'm not going to lie. You're teaching me yourself. I like this example, Ilaria. I love planning out my holidays with my friends. It's a perfect example. Well done. So you like
Excellent.
formulating detailed. Where exactly do you go? And we said I'm planning ahead for my holidays, Terry. That's the thing. I'm planning ahead for my next holiday, like for because it's like for the weekend, like a
Yeah,
destination. I'm
abs-
planning ahead for
absolutely, Paul. I'm planning ahead for my holidays. I'm planning my holidays
at
ahead
the
of.
moment. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, while you continue to send us your sentences, we're going to go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
Looking forward, looking back. So by the time plus present simple. Paul, can you help me with this?
I will, yeah. So you want me to read, yes?
Yes, please.
Okay, so by the time she finishes writing her novel, yeah, so subject plus will plus have been, she will have been writing for 3 years. Okay, so guys, feel free to, make notes of this tense because as you saw at the beginning, I also had trouble remembering it. Apologies if any of you joined me at the beginning. I was giving the future continuous examples. Okay, so it's not to confuse you.
All right, so here we have that future perfect continuous, which is
Mm,
really long. Subject plus will plus have plus been plus the verb in the ing form, that present participle. So we use it to say that an action that continues at a certain point in the future.
mm,
When we use this, so by the time is really confusing for a lot of speakers because we understand that by the time refers to a point in the future. And
mm,
people always want to use that future simple will. By the time I return to America, by the time I will return in America, but we can't see, it's hard for me to say because I know in my head it doesn't sound right. But by the time indicates a specific time in the future, but we
mm-hmm.
use the simple present when we use by the time. I know it seems really weird because we are talking about a future time, but it has to be the present simple. So
It kind of relates to like future time clauses with when, until, before.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So by the time she finishes writing her novel, this is a future time. She will have been writing. This is describing that action that's continued up until that moment in the future. She will have been writing for 3 years. Then she will finish her book.
We
All
have
right.
an example here from Federico Jacobo. So it's by the time I finish the sandwich, I will have been looking for other food. Very good. Me too. Yeah.
I like it. I'll plan out my job organization. Good, Julia. Thank you. I'll plan out my job organization. I'll plan out the organization of my job. Excellent.
Some tough grammar in this lesson, guys. I'm not gonna lie, like
Really is. All right. So by 7 p.m., I will have been working for 12 hours straight.
Mm.
By 7 p.m., I will have been working. All right. So, what we'd like now, while Paul and I continue to discuss the grammar,
Yeah.
we would like each of you to write a sentence. By the time I get home, by the time I finish working, by this time next year, remember that initial future time phrase, present simple, and then that future perfect continuous. All right?
Bravo, bravo, bravo. And I'm sure they're all saying bravo. Bravo, buenissimo, fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, so okay, we have one already. By the time this disease with an I, so disease stops, I will have been eating for 3 weeks.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, Victoria. All
I'll,
right.
by the time I read this book, you will have cooked dinner. Yeah, as I said, it can be used. It can be used with, like, by the time you will have cooked the dinner. Yeah, by the time I read this book, yeah, you can use the future
Perfect.
perfect as well because
Future
it's
perfect.
finished.
Exactly. Good use of future perfect, Julia. So
Very
I'm just
good.
going to respond to Simon over here. Simon, by
Oh
the
God,
time
Simon's watching.
we finish quarantine, we will have we will have been teaching lessons online
Absolutely.
for too long.
Oh well, it's the way we are now.
Actually, I quite like the webinar because I really
Me
enjoy.
too. I'm actually having a great crack. Grand. It's a grand old life. It's the new way. It's the new way.
I like it because we get to interact with people from Genova, from Naples,
Yeah.
from Turin. This is really exciting for us, guys.
Yeah.
We love our students here in Florence. Don't get us wrong. We love you. We miss you. We can't wait to be back in the classroom with you. But it's really interesting getting to interact with all of you from different places. So thank you for coming and sharing the time with us. So looking for some more of your sentences, but I'm going to go ahead and go on to our next slide. Still hoping for some more sentences, though. The more that you practice, the better you become, and we love to help you. Okay,
Go ahead,
so,
Terry.
well, all right. So here are some more ideas for sentences that you can write. By the time I
Mm-hmm.
finish this glass of wine, I will have been drinking for 3 hours. No kidding. Sorry. All right.
Or, for
Um,
example, by the time we finish this lesson, we will have been speaking for 2 hours, Terry. 2 hours in a row.
we will. That's true.
Wow.
All right. So, first off, is there any new vocabulary? I doubt it, but I always want to make sure. So, finish, graduate, retire. Retire means andare in pensione. So, retire.
Mm.
Get home. I think we're all home right now. Not really sure. Get
That's simply
married.
rebel.
Get a promotion. So use this structure and give us all a sentence. Paul, can you give us a sentence to start us off?
By the time March finishes, if I want to. Oh no, by the time March finishes, I'll have lived inside my house for 3 weeks. It's relevant. It's relevant. It's relevant. Terry, give me one more example.
All right. Oh, I will have lived. I'm going to give you a really strange one right now.
I'm always up for strange examples, Terry.
No, I'm not.
spontaneous.
I'm going to give it in the straight future perfect.
Go
Future.
for it. Go for it.
By the time May ends, I will have been living in Italy for 6 years.
Wow.
All right.
Interesting.
How about
Well,
how
just
about
one example by Ilaria's loving your pronunciation. But Terry, if you want to read this here as well, Ilaria Urbani.
what Italian pronunciation? I was speaking English. Oh God, no. All right. By the time I finish studying, I will have been watching a TV series on Netflix
Yeah.
for how long? There's
And
one.
also, sorry, just on the study with a Y-I-N-G, studying, just with a correction.
Okay. Ah, very good. Sorry, I'm reading and I know what she meant to say. So really good, Ilaria. Remember that we need a time at the end. So for example, by the time I finish studying, I will have been watching a TV series on Netflix for 2 weeks, for 6 months. By the time I graduate, I will have been studying for 3 years. Victoria, fantastic.
Let's just look at this one. It's I was laughing at this one. Hopefully, by the time I get coronavirus, they will have found a cure.
Great use of future perfect. All right, Federico.
Very relevant.
Perfect.
Just as they say, stay at home, and as my mother tells me, just eat plenty of vegetables. And if you want to feel active, check out like any YouTube videos of like total body workout, and just I don't know, imagine that you're in a park running.
I think the Zen idea is really important right now. So check out some yoga videos, everybody.
Terry, you should actually be the voiceover for some yoga, or you should be on the National Geographic. I'd certainly watch a documentary series on you anyway. By the time Terry is by the time Terry is 60, she will have made a documentary series about the coronavirus.
Oh God.
National Geographic. Yeah, I like that example.
I'm just waiting for it to end. So Julia says, by the time I graduate, my brother will have found a job. Future perfect. Exactly, Julia. Absolutely perfect. And then Victoria says, by the end of this month, you will have, one thing. So Victoria, just one thing we need to change. We need this to be the future perfect. So we need to take out been, okay? So by the end of this month, you will have deserved a promotion.
I think that's directed at you, Terry. Definitely.
I think it's directed at both of us.
No, definitely at you.
All right, everybody, we only have 1 minute left. And I just want to thank everybody for coming and sharing this time with us.
Absolutely.
Without you students, we would be doing nothing but talking to ourselves. And gosh,
as I said,
mistakes in English that I think it would be terrible.
as I said, feel free to tell your mates as well. Like if they want to learn a bit of English, that we are commenting, that we're online. So if they, it's if you think like your friends are interested in learning a bit of English as well, feel free to let us know. So guys, just want to say have a great day, and positive thinking, and you'll all be grand, as we say in Ireland. You'll all be grand in the end. You'll all be fine.
All right.
Okay.
So we're going to close this out now because somebody else is going to be coming on right after us. I'm going to finish
Okay.
this little conversation with Julia,
Mm-hmm.
and but we're going to close out the video. So thank you all. Have a wonderful evening,
Bye
and
guys. Thank you so much.
tune in next time. Stay safe out there.
Ciao, ciao.